Alright, so I am going to respond to Amy's video called Weigh In. Um, Now, I responded to a couple of hers. It was the one she did and then the one she said where she did it wrong or something. So I guess this one's after, but it doesn't feel like it's been a week since I responded to that. But it might have been a week since she did it because I didn't respond right away. So that's probably what it is. So we're going to see her new weigh-in. So it's 16 minutes long. I sped it up a little bit just because I'm going to start doing that now. From now, it's just 1.25, which should be fine. But yeah, so let's see how she's doing.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome to.
Loving all the red. I think that the red and the black just pops. That's such a good color scheme.
If you haven't already done so, would you ever so kindly hit the notification bell and also push the subscribe button, and that way you get notified every time when I upload and also when I go live. I hope you guys are having a wonderful halfway through your weekday. Happy Wednesday. Today is Wednesday weigh-in, so I do want to put that clip in right here. So as you heard, yes, I have lost 3 pounds this week, which is
nice.
Good. It's good. I am totally down with 3 pounds, especially like I explained to you guys a couple of days ago. I had a binge, and so having that binge, I'm glad that I was able to get right back on track and make up a couple of days, so I still had a loss rather than a gain or a standstill. I do want to clarify, though, I did see in someone had brought it to my attention that I was accusing people of you guys causing me to binge, and I absolutely want to say that that is not the truth at all. I fully take responsibility for my binge. I will not ever accuse anybody of being the responsible person for my binge. It is my responsibility to make the action to binge.
Yeah, see, a lot of, like, I get people who say, oh, Amy's just like Amber Lynn or Chantal or blah, blah, blah. And, you see videos where they compare. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe in the fact that she struggles with her weight and that she's a bigger girl, sure. And she goes through what a lot of bigger people go through when they're trying to lose weight. The ups and downs of that. And sometimes it's more fails than successes. But the way is that I think she's different is that she's actually willing to admit when she's made a mistake, someone brought it to her attention, and now she's apologizing for it. I think that's great. And she's not, like Amber Lynn will easily blame us, or Chantal blames us. Oh, it's because of all these negative comments I'm getting. That's why I'm binging, and that's why I'm doing this. And they never, come back and say, you know what, that was dumb. I'm sorry. I mean, okay, maybe sometimes, but for the most part, no. They don't. And, here she is saying, you know what, yeah, if that's the impression I gave you, I'm sorry. That's not the case. And now she's honing up to the fact that, yeah, it's all on her. She's the one that makes these choices. And I think that's great. And that's admirable as far as I'm concerned. And so, I don't know, I see a difference in her personality, in the way she does things. So that's one of the reasons that I like Amy and, that I have hope for Amy, because at least she's trying. And I also think her having a family helps too, having kids and stuff, and just people in her life that she wants to live longer for. And she's doing well. She's keeping on track right now, and I hope she stays that way. So I'm glad.
Circumstances can play a part in it, absolutely, but it's my choice to fall into the temptation and choose to do the relapse. That's my part. So I can't say that, oh, it's your fault that I binged. That is my fault. What I do with the situation is my choice, and I allowed it to affect me, and that's not okay, but I learned from it, and I learned that binging clearly didn't get me anywhere. I was able to dust my knees off, get back up, and I didn't allow it to keep me down. Normally, when I would binge, I would just keep repeating that over and over and over, because I would just say, you know what, okay, I ate some donuts, shoot, you know what, I'm just going to keep eating them and eating them. And every day go by, I'm going to keep repeating this binge day and day and day. And before I know it, I'm completely off track and I've completely threw my whole eating process out the door. But this time around, I didn't do that. In fact, I got up the following morning and it wasn't even the following morning. It was still even that day that I said, no, I'm not going to allow this binge right now that I'm dealing with affect the rest of my day? And I ended up doing pretty well the rest of the day after I got out of that binge. And the rest of the week, I, was able to continue doing what I needed to do to finish my my journey for this week. So losing 3 pounds was a victory for me, especially because I didn't think I was going to lose anything. In fact, I thought I would have gained, but here I am. I lost, so I'm happy.
Yeah, that's good, and so am I. Like, I think that's a really good thing. Yeah, it's funny. My friend was telling me, he's like, like one of the, because I have my weight loss channel. He's like, well, if you're gonna have your weight loss channel, you actually have to be losing weight. And I'm like, I know. He's like, I don't want to be a troll, but it's true. I'm like, I know it's true. Like, believe me, I know it's true. And so, like 1 week I lose, 1 week I gain. So I'm basically staying the same. And I don't want to do that. And like I said, that's why I'm going to go to the gym. I'm actually waiting on my income tax to come. Because I got a lot of bills I want to pay for, and I'm going to join the gym then. Unless I get some babysitting jobs between now and then that I can use the money for. But yeah, so I get it. Like, he's right. I should be, And that's on me, and that's something that I'm trying to do. So, it's so hard. Why is it so hard? And why is it legal for these food companies to put all this crap in food, and get away with it? It's like in other countries, most of the foods that we have aren't even allowed to be sold there because of all the stuff that's in them. And I'm like, how crazy is that? Like, I always thought that the U.S. was like the end-all be-all on product control and quality food, and now I'm realizing that we're like the worst. Like, we're the worst on a lot of things as far as developing countries go. Like, if you think about it, our medical system sucks. Our food sucks now, like it's just too unhealthy. Our portions are unhealthy. I'm like, I don't know, like I feel like we need to do something to fix it, like to fix all of it. But I just wish I knew what the solution was to make it a little better, even just a little better. Even just, half as bad would be great, but I don't know.
What else did I want to talk about? Another thing that I wanted to bring up to you guys today is kind of a damper to the beginning of my week for going into my next week of weight loss. It's kind of a sad time when you have people coming at you and calling you an abuser because you are trying to take care of your children in a manner that you see fit for yourself. I have very well been notified, I have been shown, I have been messaged, I have been emailed, I have seen it 100 times, the video that has been rolling around, and I'm the one that made it, so I know what y'all are talking about. I've seen the video of everybody saying that I beat my daughter. Now, I am going to talk about this briefly for just a few minutes. This will be the one and only time that I talk about this, and I will never speak upon this again because I really don't feel I should even have to speak upon it at all, because I don't owe an explanation to anybody for how I raise my children. The way that I choose to raise my children, that is my choice. I don't go into your home. I don't tell you how you raise your children. Yes, I am aware that I put myself out there on YouTube, and yes, I am aware that I put myself out there with my children. I get that, and I know that there are thousands of eyes watching me every single day. I completely understand that. But what I don't understand is how somebody can go from punishing their child to being called an abuser when, for one, there's no video showing physical harm being done to a child, to one, be even accused of that, two, to even have it being talked about. I have heard everything from I beat my daughter in the face, I beat my daughter on the hand. I mean, there are so many stories and accusations going out there that now it's just become, honest to God, has come to be funny to me, because it really shows me now how stories have started and how they can run around and rumors start, and they're just growing and growing and growing. And what is even more sad is that this video was a year ago. Like, if you guys honestly think about it, whoever started this whole thing literally had to dig deep down to find a video of me supposedly beating my child and put it up as a video that I just put up today. Okay.
I don't know if she's going to show a clip, but I don't know what video she's talking about. I'm not really into all the drama on that subject because, like, I don't think she's an abusive parent. Has she yelled at her kids? Yeah. But who hasn't yelled at their kids? Kids are pains in the butt. Sometimes they need to get yelled at just to get them to, like, snap out of whatever they're doing and, like, listen. So I don't have any issue with someone yelling at their kids. Like, believe me, I was yelled at. Shoot, I was spanked. I was all this stuff. And I don't hold grudges. I wasn't abused. I wasn't, like harmed, nothing like that, but this day and age, the way things are, people are just, I don't know, I feel like there's got to be a fine line between people considering something simple punishment or considering something abuse, and a lot of the times it's hard to know where that line is in other people's minds, and everyone has that line in different spots. You ask one person and spanking is abuse, even if it's open-handed, whatever, even though believe that's legal in most states probably. And then you have other people who think that like raising your voice is abuse or whatever. It's like everyone has their own parenting style, and I for one know that one way of dealing with children does not work for every child. So while one child doesn't do well with punishment such as spanking or timeouts, but they might do well with taking a toy away until their behavior changes or whatever. So you have to find what works best for your kids and for your family. And believe me, if I thought she was abusing her kids, yeah, I'd say something, and I wouldn't support her because I don't believe in that in any way. But I do think that we have to be careful with that, because you get a lot of people like being called out and CPS and stuff being called in to look at these people, and while yes, she puts her life out there, we can't make rash judgments based on what we see on here. I mean, yes, if we're concerned, that's fine, I get it, but you do have to be careful because that is her life and it's her children's lives that are at stake, and you just have to make sure that it's not just your impression of abuse and that it's actual abuse. Like you have to look into that and like look up what are the rules in that state, what's considered abuse, what does CPS come for. And if you feel like, yeah, she's checking these marks, then, I get it. But I think you have to look at it logically too. I don't know. It's a hard subject. It really is, because when it comes to kids, all we want to do is protect them. I mean, look at all the rules YouTube's come up with and all the things that they've been doing regarding kids' channels. And a lot of people don't think they're doing it the right way, and I don't think that they are either, because they're not punishing the pedophiles or the evil people online. They're punishing the parents and the people who make the videos. And they're innocent videos of just their kids, and it's hard, and it's like one of those things as a parent you have to think, like, do I want my kids on YouTube or even Facebook or anything like that? And that's something you have to weigh. But yeah, I get it. Of course we want to protect kids. They can't protect themselves. They a lot of times can't speak out when they're being abused or being harmed. So yeah, it's understandable. It's a horrible situation to be in for anyone, and I definitely think Amy needs to be more careful when it comes to stuff like that, and maybe look at it like, okay, maybe I can go about it a different way than just yelling. I mean, maybe there's a better option. I don't know. But I also, like I said, yelling is not abuse in my mind. It's just not. Like, I'm sorry. I mean, maybe if she's calling them evil names and saying really mean things to them and demeaning them, then that's abuse. But simply yelling, like, look, you need to get your things done. Like, I've asked you to do this, blah, blah, blah. Raising your voice, that's not abuse. It just isn't. And like I said, I probably am going to look up that video and see what they're talking about, because I don't remember. I've been watching her for at least a year or more, and I really don't remember what they're talking about.
Okay, now, I will raise my child like a parent. You are first a parent, then you're a friend. I am not raising my children, excuse my language, to go out in this world and be assholes. I think that's part of this world's problem with all the people that are going out making the choices that they do and destroying things and acting like little hoodlums, is because parents have now become more friends than they have become parents. Parents have become so scared in their own homes to even punish their children because they don't know what someone's going to say about it. I don't walk in fear to take care of my children. If I see fit that I need to raise my voice at my child, you're darn right I will raise my voice at my child. Am I going to demeanor them, and am I going to lower their self-esteem? Absolutely not. Do I call them names? Absolutely not. But if I have to raise my voice to make sure that I am heard and that they know that I'm serious, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I will not apologize to that. If I have to get up and I have to place a pat on the butt to show them, hey, mom's serious, absolutely. I did not beat my child. I gave her a tap on the butt. and that was it. Any child that gets even a tap on the butt, a hand, anything, even if you yell at a child, they cry. Because that's just a baby. A child, a young child, not a baby, because she was older than that. They're sensitive, so they cry. So it doesn't matter what you do to them, they're gonna cry. Even if I did spank her more than one tap, that is my choice, that is my prerogative. That is my choice. I am her mother. Nobody else but me. And like I said, I'm raising children to go out into this world and be something. I am raising children to go out into this world and help this world become something better. There's other parents out there that are raising their children to become little assholes that it's never going to balance itself out. And that's pretty sad. That is really sad. But this is my point bringing this up. I am very aware of the video going around. I've seen it, like I said. I made the video. Did I mean to leave that part in the video? No. But was I afraid to leave that part in the video? No. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm not ashamed of it. It would be the same thing if I was in the store and she was blood screaming in the store. I would have tapped her butt. It doesn't matter where I'm at. If my child's going to disobey, they're going to get a consequence.
Yeah, and then see, that's a hard thing too. Like I said, technically spanking your child with an open hand is legal, I believe, in most states. If it's not legal in a state, you can let me know. But it is legal because it's not considered abuse, even though, like, look, I'm not someone to jump to spanking. I'm not really a fan of it. Yeah, like I said, I was spanked, and that's fine, but I'm not a fan of it because that's just the choice I would make. I'm more of finding a different solution, but I'm also someone that keeps my word. So, and I think consistency is key when it comes to kids. So if you're going to tell your child that if they do that again, that they're going to have some kind of consequence, whatever that consequence is, then you keep to it. Even if that consequence ruins your day. Meaning, let's say you had a plan to go out to Disneyland or go to the park, and your child's just being a pill. And you say, look, if you do that again, or if you don't start behaving, we aren't going. And then you know what? They don't start behaving, depending, if you came from another country, sure. But you could also make it so that they can't go on any of the rides, or something like that, some kind of punishment. Because the thing is, like when I was a kid, my mom would be like, oh, you're grounded for 2 weeks. And literally the next day, we weren't grounded anymore. So we knew that our punishment wasn't going to last and it wasn't going to stick. I don't know if we were terrors. My sister and I did fight a lot, so I think that was definitely a pain. But consistency is definitely key. And if you watch, like, Nanny 911, they tell you that, too. Like, you have to say what you mean and mean what you say. And you have to stick to it. Because if you don't, your kids will know, and they will be like, well, I can get away with it because mom's not really going to punish me, or I'm not going to get in trouble. So I feel like that's very big. You can't give in even when they cry and say, no, please, blah, blah, blah. Like, no. Like, I told you, you didn't listen, and this is your consequence. And I think that's the big problem that a lot of, like, parents have, is that it's easier to just be like, okay, fine, whatever, like, whatever, just don't do it again. And then to give in. And a lot of these kids are just entitled, and they expect it. Like, I know people like that who feel like the world owes them. And it's like, no one owes you anything. No one owes me anything. Like, you have to earn everything that you have in life. And when you do something, it's either going to have a reward or a consequence. And you need to be willing to accept that. And I think that's one of the biggest problems. It's not so much how we punish or if we're punishing or whatever. It's consistency. And I don't think we have that enough. And, we're teaching kids that the world's going to protect them, that they need to be coddled by people. And they don't. Like, I know you love your children. Of course you do. Like, they're your children. But I also feel like there has to be a fine line between loving them and preparing them for the world that they're going to go out in. Because the world is not a safe place. The world is not a magical place for them. People aren't going to just give them what they want. Because people are living for themselves. And there are good people out there who want to help, but they're only going to help so much. And if you're constantly taking and you're not giving back, then people are going to stop helping you, because why would they? Like, I know people who are like that, and I don't help them. I'm like, I don't care what their problem is. I'm like, so? But, like, you take, you never help others, so why would I help you? And it's kind of like that. So I think that's the biggest issue, really. It's just consistency and really preparing them for the world that they're going to be in. And it's not a happy place. And at some point, you got to be like, look, this is what it's going to be like. And you have to work hard. You know, you have to be respectful of yourself and of others. And you just hope that you get that back. And sometimes you're not going to. Sometimes there are people out there who are going to be rude and who are going to, you know, say mean things and do mean things. But you inevitably have the choice on how you're going to react to it, because you can't control how others behave, but you can control yourself. And that's the thing, you know, self-control. And I mean, there's a lot that goes into it, but yeah, so I agree with half of that, but I don't agree. Like the punishing thing, like I feel like we could have a good society without having to spank, but it still exists, and that's fine, and it's legal, like I said. So it's like, I don't know, but I think that should always be a last resort. I really do. It should always be like the very last resort after you've tried 100 other things.
You know, and a lot of times we will start with timeouts first before we even move into a physical punishment, which is she was already, see, and that's just it, is you guys didn't even know what had happened prior to me going out and tapping her butt. She was in her timeout chair prior to that because she was screaming. Then she came and approached me and started screaming even more. So then that's when I got up and I tapped her bottom and I said, go sit down. No, ma'am, we don't scream like that. Why is that wrong? There's nothing wrong what I did. But of course, everybody's going to make it to be something bad because people want to make it something bad. And I can't help that. I can't control what people do. All I can do is control what I can do, and that's it. What others think, I can't control. What others do, I can't control. But what I do, I can control, and what I say, I can control. That's it. I can't do anything more than that. And here's the thing. I have had multiple people say, and I've even had phone calls made to me, that people are turning me into CPS. I am not walking in fear with CPS. I have already done my part, which is I already have a case with my police department. They already know what's going on my side with YouTube. And they have already seen the video on my side. And the police officer even said to me, as it already is, there's nothing to worry about. He said, there's nothing wrong in this video. So I'm not sitting here in fear wondering if the state's going to come out or not. If they come out, I already have my case number, and she'll contact the police officer that I already contacted, and it will all be taken care of. So as much as everybody wants to say that, oh, you're going to get in trouble, you're going to have your children taken away, I'm not sitting here in fear, because it's not going to happen. Now, like I said, this will be the last time that I am going to address this subject. I don't care how much this video or not this video, but the other video continues to surface around YouTube. If it makes people happy to continue to keep talking about a parent taking care of their child, so be it. Go ahead. It's not hurting my feelings at all. I think it's sad that, again, like I've said before, that people are dragging parents from taking care of their children and making sure that they are learning their manners. But again, like I said, there's more parents out there trying to be friends with their children than being parents. And that's probably what's wrong with this world. But other than that, I have nothing more to say. I will continue to move on with my channel. I'm going to continue doing what I have been doing all along. I am not dibble-dabbling into drama. I am not going to be sitting here trying to direct my videos to any one certain person, because you know what? I could care less what anybody thinks about me. If you don't like me, too bad. If you like me, thank you. If you don't want to be here on my channel because you don't like what you see, go away. Don't watch me. But I can't control what you do. But again, I can control what I do on my channel. And that is, I'm not going to continue this drama.
Yeah, see, and I agree with that. That's what I always say. Like, you can't control what other people say about you. You can only control what you do in return, and how you act and what you say and stuff like that. And so if you let the anger get to you because people are saying all these things, and then you lash out and you're mean and you're whatever, then yeah, people are going to use that against you. The best thing to do is say, look, I understand where you're coming from. That's not the case. This is the case. This is it. And that's that. And you guys can think what you want. You know, like, I mean, it's the best you can do. And, you know, I think it was a good idea to go to the police and say, look, this is what's being said. Here's the video. You tell me, was this abuse? Was this something I need to worry about? Like, and, you know, they're going to tell you legally. And even if you don't believe, like, legally means, you know, that's actually what's happening, whatever, like, just because it's not legal doesn't make it right. Okay, whatever. But if it's legal, it's legal. And that's the thing. Like, so if the police are telling her, yeah, we don't see anything that you should worry about, then that's just that. But I get it. People are always going to care. And sometimes it does work out for the best. I mean, if you think about it, that one channel, sorry, my cat wants in, but I'm not letting her in at the moment because she just messes with everything. But, that one channel, the five dad of five or something like that, people started noticing issues, and then they found out that there was abuse in that household. And so they stopped the YouTube channel, and then the police got involved and CPS got involved. And as far as I know, I don't know if the kids got taken away. I don't know. But at least it got dealt with because people said something. And in those cases, I think that's beautiful. Or, I mean, there was a case of someone who was like choking on camera. They were doing a live stream and they were like choking, and people called in from thousands of miles away and were able to get the police to their house in time to save their life. And so it's like stuff like that, you know, and that's what social media can do. And I think that's amazing. But sometimes, you know, it can backfire. There's doxing and swatting and all the crazy stuff that people do to each other. And it's sad, but it exists. And so, you know, with the good always comes the bad. I mean, it's just how it goes. And it's unfortunate, but it's the truth.
Because it's tiring. Not only is it tiring, but it's taking my vision away from what I'm working on, and that's my health. My health comes before any of this garbage. And you guys, the ones that are bringing up all this drama, all you guys are trying to do is get my eyes off of my journey and my goal and put it on something else so I won't match my goal. And you guys are trying to make me stumble so I don't get what I'm trying to do, which is lose my weight and get healthy. You would rather keep me stuck over here in the dark side, focusing on things that I don't need to even focus on. And guess what? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You're not going to win. As much as you try, it's not going to win. I'm not going to let you. I'm going to continue, like I said, working on myself. My channel's going to stay as drama-free as possible. To all of my normal subs, loyal subs, ones that like to watch my channel, thank you for being here. I so appreciate it. Don't read the comments, please, because most of them are vile right now, because that's the only place that these people know to go. So just don't even go there with it. I'm sorry it has come to that, but I don't know what else to do. I can't help it. I have deactivated my Instagram. I do want to let everybody know my Instagram is gone at this point. I don't know if I'm going to put another Instagram up. If I do, it's probably going to be used just for strictly immediate family, because I think I need one social media outlet where I can just share things with my family and keep things a little bit more private for a little while, and see where things go from there. But I don't know when that's going to happen. Right now, I just think that me kind of lessening some of the social media places and platforms is probably the most healthiest thing for me right now, mentally and emotionally. And again, like I said, focusing on this right now, on my health, not on this drama, but focusing on my channel and focusing on my goal is the number one key for me right now. My family and me are so focused on my goal, we don't have time to focus on all this other garbage. It's not going to hold me down. It's not going to make me think differently. It's not going to make me feel belittled.
And I hope not. I hope that's true. You know, like I said, you can only do so much. And it's true. You need to focus on your health, and that's most important. And, you know, you already are restricting the exposure that you're giving with your kids, and I think that's a great idea. Honestly, you know, and I don't know if it was Zachary or Michael B. Petty, but they were talking about like kids and social media, and how, like, as parents, you know, you have to be really, really careful if you're going to expose your kids to social media and expose people to your kids, because there are a lot of bad people out there, and it's hard enough just being in the regular world out with your children, and the predators and the pedophiles and all the horrible people that are out there and can see them, which is why I'm not of the mind that people should ever, like, let their children be naked out in front. I mean, I know, like, even just out in the diaper, like, I feel like you should always have your children clothed, but, like, it doesn't make an excuse for people, but I feel like it just draws that negative attention a little bit more. And plus, like, just for their own protection, like, you know, like, I don't know, modesty reasons, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Like, to me, I just don't think it's a good idea to have your children naked in public. Like, I just don't. And, like, the pedophiles, if they're gonna find you, they're gonna find you. Like, it doesn't, they don't care. But, you know, I really think limiting the exposure of your children is really important, because, number one, they really can't fully consent to being on YouTube in the first place. And so when they get older, if you do become a big channel and then they become big because of it, you've basically exposed them to this celebrity that they didn't ask for. And nor should they have had to be exposed to. So I think it's unfair. to do that to them. And I get it, like when you have a cute kid, you know, especially like kids in TVs and ads and stuff like that. Like you want, and I tell people too, oh, your kid's so beautiful, like they would be perfect in an ad. But I think about it, I'm like, I mean, I guess maybe a clothing ad is different because no one remembers those kids really. Like no one looks at them and like, oh, you're the kid from the Target ad wearing the blah blah blah. So I guess in those instances it's not so bad but like when it comes to like acting and stuff like that, I don't know. Like while I feel, yeah, it's gonna hurt movies if there aren't actual children and they're playing children, but it's more about what's good for the kids, what's good for the children. And, you know, you see a lot of kids who grow up in this celebrity life, but they have good, stable home lives. And their parents don't treat them like celebrities. They still have chores. They still have to go to school. They still have to do A, B, and C, whether they're a famous child or not. And I think that's a great idea. Like, you always need a place to tether your child to the real world, to what's really out there. Because a lot of the times when kids become famous, and, you know, not so much YouTube famous, maybe. I mean, that little Ryan kid, I don't know what his home life is like, you know, but his parents seem cool, and, you know, hopefully they are. But, like, your reality gets warped when you are exposed to celebrity. It really does. Like, I mean, if you, like, some really superstars, like, if you listen to them, like, their realities are so warped because everyone caters to every whim. Everything they want or need is always given to them. Life is no longer hard, and even if they grew up poor, they forget that a lot of the times. I mean, like, you know, you hear stories about Mariah Carey and her personality, and I mean, I don't know how Oprah is. I mean, that woman, you know, she's definitely up there, but, like, I don't know if it has swayed how she is. I mean, because she portrays herself on TV, but you can't always trust what you see on TV, that, you know, that might not be who she really is. But I've never, as far as I know, heard stories of her being a horrible person, so she probably is down to earth a good person, which is good. But there's still a part of her that's warped because of her celebrity. Like, it's inevitable that it happens. So, like, exposing your kids to that at such a young age when they really have no choice, you know, I just don't feel like it's fair to them. You know, like, that's not something that they should have to worry about. But yeah, it's a hard choice to make. It really is. You know, you have to weigh all the pros and cons for sure.
I don't think I'm less of a person because I punished my child. It doesn't make me less of a person because I put it out there on YouTube. But again, everybody's going to make something out of it because they want to. And they're trying. But you're not going to succeed. So, anyways, I am going to close. This is the last time that, like I said, I will be talking about this. From here on out, we will get back to regular showings. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the day. Tomorrow, I will be posting what I have been eating, like little clippets of things that I've been eating. Take care, you guys, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
So, I noticed that she has a video talking about CPS being called. So the thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lump that with this one because it is related. So I'm going to go and get that video, and then I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I'm back. So this is the one I was talking about, taking my kids away. This is 2 days after she posted that video that we just did. Thankfully, I went in order because I wasn't sure if I had them saved in order. And when I put them in my watch later, they don't actually tell me, like, when they were filmed. So this is a 15-minute video, so I'm going to lump this one in. I have it sped up to the 1.25, which seems to work well with her because she's not that slow of a talker. But let's get this going and see what it's about. I will obviously know what it's about, but let's just see what she has to say.
Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome too. If you haven't already done so, would you ever so kindly hit the subscribe button and also the notification bell so you get notified every time when I upload and also when I go live. Welcome, 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 and happy Valentine's Day to everybody. I hope everybody is having a wonderful day today, as I am with my kiddos. We are having a blessed day. It's a wonderful day, actually. It's a beautiful day out, which makes for even a better day with it not being so gloomy from yesterday's gloom. But anyways, no, it's going to be a good day. I am planning to make fish and shrimp and salad for dinner, so that sounds yummy. And the kids like that, so that is what's going to be on the menu for dinner tonight. I also just want to say thank you to everybody that called DHS and had them come out and do a checkup on my home and on my kids, and had DHS go to my children's school and talk to him separately by himself. That was just perfect. That was awesome. That worked out real well. That did him in real well mentally, because he can handle stuff like that. I just want to say thank you so much. And
I know there's sarcasm in that one, like, for sure. But, I mean, I had already seen the thumbnail to this prior to doing the other one, so I knew that something was going to happen, taking my kids away. I didn't know. She's saying DHS. I don't know what that one stands for. I know CPS, Child Protective Services, but I don't know what DHS is. I keep thinking Department of Homeland Security. No, DHL is the package company, but I don't know. Like, I don't know what DHS is, so, you know, you can let me know in the comments. I don't know.
I hope everybody is now fulfilled with whatever it is that they were looking for, and that your needs were fulfilled. You know, that whatever agenda you guys had going on was met, and that you guys are now ready to move on and to stop this madness, because literally there is not anything that you guys put in that report is even remotely true. First and foremost, let's cut to the chase. Yesterday, DHS went to my son's school, brought him out of class, brought him into a private room, and questioned him. My son has no idea what was going on. My son does not know what goes on in social media, because I don't allow him to know things like that. He doesn't need to. He's young. He has no business knowing adult information. My son doesn't know about adult situations. My son does not know what happens on YouTube. He doesn't know those things because I don't fill him in with those things. I don't think he needs to know adult things. I allow my children to be children, and that's it. However, when DHS comes to my son's school and starts questioning him about, you know, how he's, you know, how we are with him, if we abuse him, if we feed him, if we fight, how we treat the kids, and that stuff, then it starts raising flags with my son to be like, whoa, wait, what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, I guess when it comes to child abuse allegations, like, they're allowed to talk to your kids without your consent, because if you are abusing them, like, what would be the point of having you there? You know, so I believe that that's possible. I don't know how that rule works, but I mean, for the protection of the child, if that is the case and they are being abused, yeah, of course you don't want the parent there. It's like the kid's going to be like, oh yeah, my dad's abusing me and he's standing right next to me. You know, like, of course they're not going to say anything. But that had to have been scary. How old is he? Like 10? 8? I don't even know how old her older son is. Can't remember. But yeah, I can't even imagine. That must have been, if not terrifying, just very confusing. He was like, okay.
Like, why are you questioning me? I think what was sad is that when he came home and he was all worked up and very upset emotionally, I had to sit down and I had to explain to him how people on YouTube are saying some things about mommy and daddy, and how, you know, now they have called the state to get them involved, which is now having to get my kids involved. And, you know, maybe I haven't shared much about my older son, but he does deal with anxiety, and he also has some other disorders that I don't think I need to really go into detail about on YouTube that are personal for him, that I can definitely say this threw him off, and it really traumatized him yesterday. And we had a really hard day yesterday emotionally with him because of what happened. So I just hope that the people that called and made this report really got fulfilled what they were looking for, because not only were you trying to affect me and my husband, but you definitely affected my older son. And that is so unfair. That is so unfair that you guys would definitely not keep in mind that you're affecting children as well. Not only are you affecting the adults, but you're affecting the children. And at the end of the day, the children are the ones that are honestly going to reap the consequences the most from all of this, because they're the ones that are clueless. They don't know what's going on. They don't understand. They don't have a voice to fight for themselves. They just are innocent children living their lives. Their parents have chosen to be on YouTube, put their lives out there, and now there are ruthless people out there that just want to rip our family apart. And
yeah, well, and see, this is what I was saying earlier, is that that's something you have to take into consideration when you put your children or your family in the public eye of any kind. You have to think about that. Like, how is this going to affect them in the future? You know, because, I mean, I see this happening all the time, and that's why when I do have children, which, you know, hopefully in the next couple of years, I'll get to do that. You know, I have to decide, do I want to expose them to that kind of life, or do I want to keep them out completely? I mean, at this point, I want to keep them out completely. Like, there's no point in putting, like, I'm sure I would love them and they're adorable, and I'm like, I want to show the world my children, But I can stick to showing my friends and family 100,000 pictures on my Facebook and leave it at that. Talking about them, sure, I don't even have to use their actual names. No one needs to know, their names. I can just call them by an initial or something as a way to protect them. But, I do that now when I record my walks and I walk with the baby I care for. I never show his face. And if his face happens to be on there, I will delete the whole video and do it again. You'll hear his voice, sure, but I never use his name. And I don't use his face in any way to protect him, because, I would never want someone to come after him. Mind you, I'm not that big. I have my gaming channel has 140 something subs, and I think that's the most subs I have on any of my channels. So I'm not really all that worried now, but if I ever got more, let's say I did something and it was amazing and people were like, oh, and everyone subscribed, then, I'd like to know that I did my best to not only protect the identity of any children that are near me, and that's even when I go to the park or go somewhere. I recorded myself at this really cute park in Nevada, and it had a little dinosaur thing and stuff, and I made sure that my videos didn't have children in it. So even when I was panning the thing, I panned upward so you could still see what I was trying to show, but it wasn't low enough that there were children in there. Because I do my best to protect other people's children, even in a public space where technically I don't have to. It's something I want to do because, I'm the one choosing to record these videos for my YouTube. It's not their parents' fault. They're just taking their kids out to have fun and to enjoy their time. So who am I to expose their children to social media in any way? I did have happen one time where I was recording myself in a pool and there were kids that had walked by. But I don't think you could really see them or hear them. But I'm that's kind of inevitable. There are people, you're out in the public, it's going to happen. But for the most part, I do my best to keep that from happening.
And it's just not going to happen. It's really not going to happen. They also came to my house and talked to me. As far as I'm going to say about this subject is, whatever was on the agenda for you guys, it really was not met. My children are in the background, so clearly my kids are still with me. I think it's really sad that there are people out there that truly want to see families be ripped apart, that are not even families that should be ripped apart. There are families out there that definitely are going through some major things, and children that are really receiving true abuse that really need to be taken from their families, and they're not being seen or heard because the DHS people are busy working on these so-called bogus reports, because people think it's funny to call DHS and report these people, and report my family or whoever else's family on YouTube to them to have their children taken away from them. There's a story, The Child That Cries Wolf, and I'm pretty sure everybody has heard that story, and if you haven't, well, I don't know where you were living. But anyways, it kind of goes into that tell that someone can call DHS so many times and report the same abuse, but by the end of it, what's going to happen is one day there is going to be a serious call that's going to be needed, and DHS isn't going to take it as serious because there's been so many bogus calls made that at one point they're going to stop listening and taking it as serious as they need to because of these type of phone calls that are made that are false reports.
Sorry.
And I just think it's so sad. It's just like people that would call 911 and say, hey, there's an emergency at
and then it's not an
X,
emergency.
Y, and Z address, and the person's laying on the floor, not breathing, and fire department, ambulance, everybody shows up, and there's nobody there to even be found, and by the end of it all, it was all a hoax. It's the same concept. It's the same thing. Why would you ever want to waste the time of these people that work these more
See, I don't think it's about wasting time. I think a lot of these people legitimately feel like there's abuse. Even if it's not warranted, I do feel like they legitimately feel. Sure, there are trolls out there and there are people out there who call stuff like this just to cause drama. Maybe that's exactly what happened. But, I do believe that there are people out there that legitimately feel that it's the case. Because why else would they be so passionate about it? Why else would all the comments be so negative and people saying, oh, you're abusing, if they truly didn't believe that was the case? Not to say that, like I said, that they have any reason to believe that, but everyone takes things differently, and everyone's idea of abuse is different. And so things like this are going to happen. It just is, and it sucks, but I mean, at least, you know, if they came out and everything went well, then that's a good thing, you know. But yeah, it does suck. Like, he shouldn't have had to go through that. That's not fair for him, because he's young and he doesn't deserve that kind of stress. You know, that's very unfair to him. And hopefully it won't happen again. But I you know, I can't guarantee that. I just don't know. But it's funny to me, like, the thing I want to know is, like, I don't even know where this woman lives. Like, I know what state she's in, but, like, how do you call CPS on someone? I mean, I guess if you have their name, they can look them up. Yeah, I guess. Because I'm like, how do you dox someone, too? But I guess if you know their real name or their, like, first and last name, you can figure out where they live. Gosh, that's crazy to me that that's possible.
Important jobs that you could ever imagine, saving children, saving lives. Why would you ever think twice about wasting that valuable time that you can never get back just because you are vile and vicious and want to try and hurt somebody or prove a point or be the cool one that made the certain call to turn the person in? I just think it's so sad. I would never, even on my worst enemy, would I ever think twice about calling on somebody and saying this person is abusing their child or this person's not feeding their children or whatever it might be to try and get that person's child taken away if there is no serious reason to have that child taken away. I did daycare previously, you know, a few years ago, and I had a mother that lived in her vehicle with her 2 children. Because in the state of Oregon, you cannot allow families to live with you if you do childcare for them. So therefore, I did not have a place for her to stay, so she had to live in her car. And we're talking, there was 2 different times that she did it. Once was in the middle of summer, once was in the middle of winter. And both times, there was people that had reported her that there's a woman living in her car with her 2 children. Do you know that DHS said as long as there's a roof over those kids' head, there's nothing we can do? They're taken care of. They have food. They have shelter. That's all that matters. They can be taken to the restroom at any given place. She is not crossing any laws. It takes more than just a phone call to get someone's children taken away. And I wish people would see that it takes more than just, oh, I think this child needs to be taken from their mother and it's just going to happen. You know, and again, like I said, not only does it affect the adults that you're turning in and reporting falsely, but you're hurting the children.
Yeah. And like I said, you know, for those people who call in just for the purpose of calling in to affect you, then to them it doesn't matter if your kids get taken away. The fact that it inconvenienced you and stressed out your son and made you unhappy is enough for them. But then, like I said, for those who legitimately think that it's abuse, you know, of course they don't want to cause harm to your children. But hopefully, either way, if you feel like it's abuse, hopefully seeing the fact that they're saying it's not will be enough for you. I mean, and if you're trying to inconvenience her and dox her and whatever you want to call it, then hopefully seeing the fact that, yeah, you've done that will be enough for people to not either, you know, for the trolls to stop and for the legitimate people who think that it's abuse to stop. I don't know, though. I really don't know. Because I know with Amber Lynn, with her dogs, you know, animal control or whomever has been called out a few times because people think she's abusing them. I don't know that she's abusing them. Maybe she's not taking as good care of them as she can or as good care of them as people want her to. I don't know if she's abusing them. I know they said there was an instance with someone throwing a cat. That's, of course, horrible, and you should not do that. And that's definitely a sign of mistreatment. But as far as, like, her main animals go, I just don't know. I don't know. I haven't seen it. Like, I mean, you know, yeah, maybe she doesn't get her dog's nails clipped all the time. That's not really abuse unless the nails are going into the skin and the dog's getting infected and she's not taking care of that. Then, yes, that's abuse. But it has to get to an extreme before anything will be done. And it's true, like, with anyone. Like, it has to be extreme for CPS, for animal control, for anyone to come in and really take the child or the animal or the whomever away. And so that's the thing I think people don't get is that, you know, even if it's on the line, unless it's really abuse and it's been going on and there's effects and it's visible in the child and the child says that it's happening, CPS doesn't do anything, because you can even have CPS get called out on an abuse case, but if the child insists that they're not being abused, even if they've got bruises and stuff, and CPS that can't see, they can't do a thing about it. The child has to admit it, or there has to be some physical evidence, that they can see, to warrant them to take the child away. And it's sad, but they have to be careful, because the last thing that they want to do is take a child away from a family who's not abusing them, cause them all the strife, probably all the money it would cost, and then take the child away for no reason. And that's what they try to prevent. They don't want that to happen. So they have to be very sure, like 110% sure, before they'll take the child away. And sometimes that backfires, because there have been cases of abuse where the children have died, even though CPS has been called out multiple times, because as far as they could see, nothing was happening. There have been cases of children being kept in cages in the basement for years, and they didn't know. So it's not a perfect system. It really isn't. And it's sad that these things happen. It's sad that just anyone can be a parent. That breaks my heart, that just anyone can have a child. And people who aren't even responsible enough to take care of themselves can take care of another human being. It breaks my heart that that's even the case. But unfortunately, that's how our world works. And, all we can do is try. We do our best to protect kids, and a lot of times we do a great job, and kids are saved, and they're taken out of bad environments. And sometimes, unfortunately, no. That doesn't happen, and it does break my heart. It really does. I wish there was more we could do. I wish we had a way of just knowing 100% who was abusing children, who wasn't, or who was going to abuse and who wasn't, But unfortunately, we don't have that possibility.
You traumatized my older son by doing what you guys did and have him taken out of class. Maybe you didn't realize that was going to happen, but that's what happened. And he came home so upset because he had no clue what was going on. That is not fair. That is not okay. And then I had to have a conference with the school so that we have a backup plan for anything like this to happen again, because this threw him so far into a loop that he was messed up the rest of the day. He could not concentrate the rest of the day because of this whole situation. How fair is that? That is not okay. And I just hope and pray that whoever made the report is watching this video and listens to what I'm saying and knows that what they did is not okay. You hurt my son. Not only did you try and hurt me, but you did affect my son. And I hope that you're okay with that. I hope that you're happy with that. I hope that's what you were hoping you did. Because I can guarantee you that you weren't thinking about that, but that's what happened. And that is so sad that he paid the price for what you guys thought was going to be funny to call and report. When everybody that watches my channel knows I do not beat my children. And you all are bogus if you say that I do. So, anyways, that is my Valentine's rant for today. But I hope you guys are having a blessed day. Like I said, I am going to continue to focus on my weight loss. And I'm going to switch some things up and around. And like I said, I'm going to get back to doing certain things. And, I'm just going to have fun with my channel. And I hope people start enjoying what they...
Ooh. I don't know what she's doing, but whatever it is, it's loud. You can hear it. She's right next to the mic. I'm just hearing... I'm like, oh, okay. I don't know what you're doing. It was probably just a nervous tick. I do that sometimes. I'll start tapping, and then I realize my mic's literally right here. So I can't do that. But yeah. Ooh.
See, I hope they enjoy the content that I'm bringing. I have a lot of things in store that I have at the, on the table that I want to do. And, so, there's so much more to share with you guys that you're not gonna scare me off. I'm here for the long haul. And if you thought that this was gonna make me tuck my tail and run away, you found your match. You found a fighter. I'm gonna fight. I will fight for my channel because I love my channel. I love what I do. If I didn't love what I do, I would not still be here. But I truly love what I do. This is my job, and I love my job. I wake up in the mornings and think to myself, I get to work again today. This is fun. This is exciting. Every day is a new day. Every day is a new beginning. Every day is something I get to share. Every day is a glimpse a little bit more into my life, into what I'm doing at that moment. However, I will be a little bit more cautious, I think, about how much that I let people know. because I've really seen true colors of certain people that I thought were really close to me, and called me a friend, be different behind my back. I did see that the last couple of days, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. It's taught me a big lesson about trust. It's taught me a big lesson about who is a friend and who is an acquaintance. Somebody that really doesn't know me. Somebody that knows me, but knows me on the surface of what I have allowed and what they have allowed me to know about them, and them about me. So, I mean, either way, I love my job. This is what I love to do. This is what I'm going to continue to do. You like me, you love me. Like I said, hit the subscribe button, and the notification bell. And let's get this party started. Let's get this channel popping, because I see so many things happening that it's bound to happen. It's bound to be, I don't know. I am really excited to see where this is going to take me. I'm so excited. I did I did give myself a little something. Look what I got myself. It's partly partly healthy. Chocolate raisins. Chocolate.
I like those. They're good. I mean, you know, the funny thing, like, stuff like that in moderation is fine, you know, especially if you're, like, working out stuff. Like, I bought trail mix. I still have it because I only take it with me when I go on my hikes, and I literally eat, like, half of a serving, and that's just something because I get hungry. And actually, I'm going to go shopping today if I can remember. Yeah, it's what? I don't even know what time it is. It's only noon. It's noon, so I'm going to go shopping around 1-ish or 2-ish once I finish recording my videos, because I'm trying to catch up. And then I'm going to get, like, some bars my friend was telling me about that are really good when you get a sweet tooth, because that's my biggest problem. So I can take them with me, like non-perishable items that I can take with me on my hikes, because I really enjoy doing them. But yeah, the chocolate raisins are pretty good. Just saying.
Raisins. So I did. I got chocolate raisins for my Valentine's Day because they sounded good, and I only need a few, and they kill my sweet tooth. And
it's hard having a sweet tooth.
I wanted raisins the other day, and I wanted chocolate, so I was like, hey, let's get some chocolate-covered raisins, and I will kill both with one stone. So, anyways, I hope you guys, again, have a blessed Valentine's Day. Give your loved ones a little love tap from me, and don't do that, please. Actually, I should not even say that. Give your loved ones a love kiss and a love hug, and show some sweet loving and caring. No, that doesn't sound good either.
She's like, just don't do anything. Like, don't do anything. We get weird. That's funny. She's like, wait, don't tap them on the. Yeah, no love taps. No, don't kiss them. And she's like, they don't even know me.
Just have a wonderful Valentine's Day, okay? Please, just have a wonderful Valentine's Day on me. Love y'all. Bye-bye.
Okay, that was friggin' hilarious. I'm, like, dying right now. Oh, man. But, yeah, like, it's a horrible situation. It all sucks. It just sucks. It sucks. Outwardly, you know, like I said, I don't believe she's abusing her children. I'm like, you can hate me for that belief if you want to. I'm like, I'm very protective of children. Like, I would give my life to make sure that a child was safe. But I'm also realistic, and I know what's abuse and what's not. And I know she's not starving her children. I don't know where that idea came from. I know she loves them, and you can tell that they love her. You know, like, I feel like children that are abused, no matter what, there's a sense of fear when they're around the person that's abusing them. They're usually very quiet around that person. There's, like, little signs that if you're really looking, you can see. And so I just don't believe it. Like, I'm sorry. I don't think that's happening. It breaks my heart that it's come this far. But I hope that, you know, people can move on from it. And like I said, if she were showing signs of really abusing her child, I'd be the first to call CPS on her. Like, I mean, honestly, like, if I really thought that was going on, I'd be the first to call, you know? But I don't think that. I really don't. I want the best for her. I'm going to keep following her on her journey to lose weight. I support her. Whether you think I'm delusional or not, that's on you. I mean, that's fine. I get it. Like, we all have different opinions, and I'm open to opinion, whether they agree with mine or not, because I feel like there's a reason we have the opinions we do. And there's a lot that goes into that. Our upbringing, our experience, our education level, our knowledge on certain things. Like, a lot of it affects how each of us interprets something and how each of us, sees the world. And so I get that. And not everyone's going to agree with me or see her the way that I do. Like I said, I've been on was it Kiwi Farms? I think that's what it was. I've seen everything that people have posted. I've seen all the negative. I get it. But maybe there are some questions that haven't been answered. And maybe she'll never answer those questions, especially regarding her older son. Like, there's some allegations out there that he's not legally hers. I don't know where that came from. I mean, they showed it, but, like, I want to hear that from her, not from people on Kiwi Farms that have way too much time on their hands. I'm just going to say, like, I don't have enough time to focus this much on someone. Like, I really don't. Like, what I do now, these reactions, me watching these videos for the first time and reacting, that's about as much effort as I can put into it right now. Like, I have a way too busy of a life. Just don't have enough time for that. But, yeah, I don't know. We'll just see how it goes. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'll be proven wrong. And if that's the case, I'm more than happy to admit, yeah, I thought wrong. But at this point, I'm going to stick with what I'm saying and what I agree with and what I think. So, but yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. And I hope your weekend goes well. I hope everything goes well for everybody. I don't know when this will be posted. I'm going to post a lot of videos up in the next couple of days because I now figured out why they were taking so long. So I should be able to, like, pump them out, bam, 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 thankfully. So I'm going to try to do at least a couple a day until I get updated, because I've got, like, 7 or 8 right now in my queue, and I still have about 4 to record. But, yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you soon.